Hey guys, welcome to Annalvsmakeup. Today I'm going to be doing a really relaxed review and demo of the new Natasha Denona Glam palette. Now I say relaxed because I did try to film this yesterday and it was total chaos while I was filming. So I ended up not uploading that video and I'm going to start off fresh today, but it is going to be a relaxed version because I've already used the palette and I already know how this palette works. So if you guys want to see a review and demo of this palette, then just keep watching. Alright, so let's just get into some information about the palette. This palette has 15 shadows in here that are neutral and cool tone shades. The palette itself is made of plastic. It has the little holes on the back where you can pop out the shadows and create your own palette rearranging the shadows, or you can add other shadows into the palette and style it the way you want. The palette itself comes with a mirror, and then here are the 15 shades. Now the shades consist of metallics, mattes, and some shimmers. This retails for $65, and I purchased mine on the Natasha Denona website, but you can also purchase it at Sephora. Now there is something that is very interesting to this palette. The shadows don't have any shade names. Basically what it is the names that are listed in this palette are names that are supposed to show you where to place that particular shadow. So for instance, if it says crease, you would place that shadow in the crease. If it says center eyelid, you would place that shadow on the center eyelid. Now you don't necessarily have to do it the way it states here, but this is just like kind of a guide that will allow someone who has never put on shadow to refer to. Now I think that that's absolutely brilliant because there's a lot of people who are intimidated by palettes like these, especially that they have so many shades, because some people who haven't put shadow on or aren't comfortable with putting shadow on may not gravitate towards a palette like this because it seems like it would be too overwhelming. But in this case, she's kind of put a guide in place to show you where to put each of those shadows. And I think that was a brilliant idea. So you're not gonna find any kind of like shade names. You're basically going to see the words crease, center eyelid, outer eyelid. You're gonna see words like that throughout the palette. So I didn't necessarily follow the kind of guide that she has in this palette. I actually did my own eyeshadow look and I really like the way it came out. So you don't necessarily have to use those shadows the way she says to use them. You can actually create any eye look that you want. I say get creative because there's really no rules when it comes to makeup. So do whatever feels good to you. You know what I mean? So anyway, I will be doing swatches at the end. But for now, let me go into how I feel about this palette. Like I said, I filmed this already and I used the palette. And guys, I have to say that this palette is insanely good. It is so good. The pigmentation's there, the blendability's there. It just performed the way that I thought it would. To me, this is comparable to her bronze palette. I love the bronze palette. It comes off so beautifully on the eye, and this actually does the same. It creates a beautiful glam look, and I just love it. Now you can use this for day looks as well. You can swipe any one of these shades all over the lid, or you can use like a crease color and then just kind of put a little bit of shimmer, but this can be used anytime that you're doing a makeup look. So I really enjoyed using this palette yesterday. The shades are just super creamy, guys. They just go on so well. So I really enjoyed using it, and I paid $65 for this. Now you can buy this on Sephora's website, or you can buy it on the Natasha Denona website. Not sure if it's on Beautylist or not, but you can easily find this. It's not hard to actually find. I'm really glad that she's coming out with these medium-sized palettes. I think they are a lot more feasible. I feel like when you have a palette like this, that there's so much that you can do with this palette. And I love the size of it. It's not too big, it's not too small. I think it's just perfect. So yeah, I hope that she continues to come out with these size palettes. I know that she's come out with a few before this one and the bronze one, but I feel like this is where it's at. I do have some of her bigger palettes, and then I have the little mini ones. And honestly, I prefer these and the mini ones over the big ones. So I'm really glad to be sharing it with you guys today. I've had it for a little over a week, and yesterday was the first time that I used it. So today will be my second time. and I'm super excited to use it again because I really do love this palette. So before we go into the swatches, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the eyeshadow. I have put on my eye primer. I'm using the KVD Shade Primer. I love this primer, guys, so good. So yeah, I'm using that one. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the eyeshadow on. I am gonna use the same BK brushes that I used yesterday. I'm gonna set that eye primer with this shade, and it's a transition shade. This one right here. I'm using a 202 brush. So I'm just gonna set that primer. So I'm using that same brush, and I went into the shade right here. This is a blend shade, but I'm using it in my crease. I'm just gonna take it all the way over, above my crease. I'm taking my 201 brush, and I'm just going to clean the edge up here. I don't have any product on this brush. I'm gonna go back with the 202 brush. This brush is just perfect for a lot of things. I'm gonna go into the outer eyelid shade right here. I'm going to use that to deepen up my crease a little bit. So basically I'm just going on the outer portion, but I'm coming into the crease to deepen up that crease right there. And I will say that I have very little fallout. I didn't have a lot yesterday, but I am seeing just a tiny bit here. Now I'm going to take the 203 brush, and I'm going into another outer eyelid shade. That's this one right here. And I'm going to place that all over my lid. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my brush on a paper towel. I'm going into a center eyelid color, this one right here. And I'm going to use that on the center eyelid. I think this is the only shadow that I used like she recommended. So basically what I did is just put it right here on the center, just to give that shadow a little pop. And then I'm gonna take my number 205 brush. It's kind of like slanted. I'm going into this shade Smoke. And this one, I'm just going to actually put just right here on the edge, just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. Then I'm gonna take that brush again, which is the 201. And I'm going to just clean the edges, kind of blend everything together so it looks smooth. Now I'm just going to take a makeup wipe, and I'm just going to wipe underneath where that fallout was. Just kind of bring it up. I don't know why, but I had a lot more fallout today than I did yesterday. It's weird. So we're going to come back to this palette in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and do my face makeup. And I am just gonna run through this fairly quickly on camera so that you guys can see what I actually put on my face. I do have my primer on, which is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. And then I have my Waso Poreless Matte Primer on the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with foundation. Today I'm gonna use the Meet Your Hue Dose of Colors foundation. I'm going to shake this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed through the whole entire face makeup process, and then I'll come back and you'll be able to see the completed look. right, guys, I put on these faux mink lashes by VELOUR. They're the luxuriously lightweight faux mink lashes. I don't know the name of these. I don't have a name for them, but these are what they look like. I got them off Amazon. And I really do like them. The band is pretty thin, so it's a lot easier to apply. So yeah, so that's what I have as far as my eyelashes. I'm gonna go back into the Natasha Denona palette. I'm gonna go into this blend shade right here, and I'm using the BK Beauty 204, and I'm just going to run that on my bottom lash line. And then what I wanna do is I'm going to wet the brush. I'm just using this Avène Thermal Spring Water. I love that for like refreshing my makeup or just like wetting my brushes. I'm gonna go into this outer eyelid shade right here, and I'm going to just press that into my lower lash line. Just kind of blend it in there. I know I said press, but I meant blend. These shadows are so beautiful when wet, really, really pretty. So that's gonna be it for my lower lash line. I don't really need to go in with too much down there. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. lower lash mascara. It's the smudge proof mascara. So I'm gonna finish off this look with the KKW Beauty lip liner in number 2. And then I'm gonna use this lipstick by Bare Minerals. I think it's their hydrating lipstick. The shade is called Balance. Really beautiful nude shade. Let me do this really quickly. Alright guys, this is the finished eye look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really relaxed, just really quick. But I did want to show you how I applied those shadows, how well the shadows performed. This was such a good palette to add to my collection. It has some really beautiful, cool and neutral tones in it, and I absolutely love it. So I hope this video was helpful to you and helped you decide whether you want to purchase it or not. But if you are going to purchase it, I promise you, you will not be sorry. It is such a good palette. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.